Hello, welcome to the When I Have Spare Time podcast. My name is Frank, and I'll be sitting here talking to you for a few minutes. As usual, I'm wearing clothes, but you can't see me because we're using a picture of Karina as the background for this podcast. No need to see me. You know, there's about 700 other podcasts where you can see me. I just got home from work. Well, a couple hours ago. I do overnights. I'm a janitor. But the reason why I worked last night is because there was a girl who was supposed to work that night or last night, and she called in sick, like a couple hours before, her shift starts, and her excuse was, my car is broken and it won't be fixed till tomorrow, so I'll be in tomorrow. This is what I call a bad coworker. There's Lyft, there's Uber, there's a taxi, there's a bus, you can walk. You're a girl, girls have friends, you can get a ride. She just didn't go to work because she just didn't want to go to work. I mean, like, how does she know her car's going to be fixed tomorrow? It's just a bullshit excuse. But the thing that pissed me off is, I know I'm bitching first world problems, but it's like this isn't the first time she like has some kind of excuse. Instead of just saying, hey, I don't want to go to work, she makes up crazy excuses. Like one time she said she was walking her dog, and then someone was driving recklessly and clipped her dog, so she has to go to the vet instead of coming into work. That never happened. Anyway, there's other excuses like that. But see, when you work an overnight shift, like if you work the reception at a place, like if you're the opener or the closer at a place, okay, that's kind of the two positions where you can't call in sick. So like you have to make sure that you have the kind of lifestyle where you can come in. So like obviously, like a heroin addict probably wouldn't be good at these two positions, and you're probably wondering, well, how come you do it? Well, I'm a casual crack user. Like I'm not an addict. I'm a functioning crack addict. I home brew my own material, so I make sure it's healthy. It's basically, if you looked at the food pyramid, the crack I make would be next to the grain. So it's not like it's debilitating. Like you can work out on it. You can still hold the conversation. You don't suffer from the side effects that a normal person will call cracked out. Like if you asked me how to cross the street, I could tell you how. I wouldn't be like, oh, I don't know. Okay, so if I'm not calling in sick, give me a break. Like I usually walk to work, and I walk home. Sometimes I get a ride to work, but I know like 8 hours before I start my shift how I'm getting to work. Because you know what? I know it sounds crazy. I actually take my job seriously. Like everything in my life I take seriously. How I talk to escorts I take seriously. Like I just don't like randomly like tossing the highest price. Like, I make sure like, base price. I mean, because come on, like base price is 60. There's like a minimum price for hose, and it depends. Like the lower the price, that's like how much more risk you're willing to take. 60 is the baseline especially in this economy. $60 is the baseline, and then like usually you're not going to be sleeping with the men anyway. You're going to probably do some kind of weird fetish thing where like you're putting whipped cream on your balls and she's kicking you or something like that. I mean, I'm not saying I do that. Why would I admit that? Why would I even share that? Okay. Maybe like, like $60. Like, you put on a pair of diapers, you go to her apartment, she yells at you, maybe whips you a couple times, you clean up her apartment as she's humiliating you. I'm not saying I do that, but I'm just saying like for a baseline of $60, you should be able to get that. And yes, I'm talking about a friend. So I've been being social lately. I've started going out. I went to Joxer Dailies. You guys have heard me talk. Well, I'm sorry, the fans of this podcast have heard me talk about a couple of girls before. One of them is Vicky Zale, my favorite bartender. This woman is now in her early 50s. Her body is still smoking hot. Like she actually takes. She drinks her ass off, but apparently alcohol is good for you. She drinks her ass off, but she has maintained. Cause like I've known her since she was like 23. She has maintained her look. I guess the biggest difference is, I mean I guess maybe she's 10 pounds heavier, but she was already skinny. She looks good, no complaints. Okay, she's a fit, in shape woman. It's just that she's like 50 now, but yeah. So like I started going back to the bar, but anyway, I have an acquaintance now because I've been going to the bar. There's this hot Korean chick. She looks like Belle from Kiss of Life, except she's like 15 years older. She's first of all, she's Korean. She's kind of a tan Korean, and so how like Asians age good, so she looks like she's in her 20s, but she's probably late 30s, probably late 30s, because it looks like she's going through some kind of like midlife crisis. Because and yes, 30s for a woman is midlife, because women hit the wall at 25. So she's definitely like she's probably between like the age of 35 and 37. I'm kind of gonna, just based on the way she acts, but man, she looks like Belle from Kiss of Life. Look up Kiss of Life. It's a K-pop group. Look up Kiss of Life, and then there's a person in the group called Belle, or named Belle. She is a Korean American chick. She looks just like her except tan. Okay, smoking hot chick. Okay, so I've hung up this chick twice. I have had no. I mean, I'm talking. I am so MGTOW. I have had no inclination to ask her out, ask for her number, or ask for her name. except we hang out and we talk. We play pool, and as she plays pool, I'm like, wow, she has a really nice body. So it's weird. It's like she's become just something to look at. Because it's like, it's just not worth trouble. It's like, I know what happens when you date a woman. I know what happens when you, put your investments in her vagina cave, okay? It's just drama, it's just bullshit. So I'd rather just skip all that and just, verbally and visually degrade her. And I'm completely satisfied. It's great just sitting back like on the bar stool, watching her lean over the friggin' pool table in her skirt and cowboy boots. She looks great. Nice midriff going on. Got her hair in pigtails. I'm happy. She's like a lolly, except she's not. I'm very happy. Yeah, it's so weird. Like I'm so fed up with women. I'm happy just watching them play pool, and I'm like, hey man, I'm great. I'm great. But that's women's fault, not my fault. I haven't changed since I was I don't know, probably 19. I'm just, the regular. I'm just a regular guy. The only difference between me now and 19 is like I know how to make my own crack, which we have gone over so many times on the show. Okay. But the reason why I've gone over this so many times is I want you to do that too. Okay, like you don't want to get anything off the street. Okay? I mean, like if you're going to do bad stuff, at least do it with a friend, get it from a friend, or you do it yourself, because right now it's been dangerous on these streets for the past, I don't know, 5 years. It has been dangerous on these streets. Okay? And if you're getting stuff off the street, you're a fucking moron. Don't do it. Okay? Would you go to a drug dealer to buy homemade alcohol? Think about it. Alcohol, the most common thing you can get. Would you go to the corner, walk up to a black guy with a trench coat, and when he opens up the trench coat, there's like, shots. Would you buy a drink from him? No. You just wouldn't. So act like that for every other drug. Okay? It's just not safe right now. I mean, I heard a story. I'm not even making this up. I was watching YouTube, and this guy it's like interviews like, homeless people or people in between homes, or as a woke leftist would say, what did they say? Like what did they say? Like shelter challenge people. whatever. So this woman or this girl, because like she was like early 20s, she's like, yeah, a couple years ago. Oh no, the question was, hey, so like, are you still using? Because she's a fentanyl addict. She's like, yeah. And she said a couple years back, her and her friend, this girl, were just passing through, just trying to get from one part of the city to another. And this is like in the Midwest. And so they wanted food, so they went to the 24-hour restaurant at the truck stop, and as they're walking either out or into the restaurant, it doesn't matter. A trucker came up to them, and he was young. He was around they were like late teens, so he was like early 20s. He's like, hey, like you guys want to smoke? And so they both were like, sure. He pulls out a pipe. They don't know what's in the pipe. Okay. But it's a crackish pipe, okay? And she said it looked like there was weed in there, but it had like, crystals on it, whatever. So like they smoke, okay? And then she wakes up. She doesn't know how long, but she wakes up, and there's this other trucker trying to wake her up, because apparently he found her and her friend buried under a pile of logs that was near the dumpster in the parking lot of the truck stop. And so the trucker is like pulling logs off of her and like pulls her up and like slaps her a bunch of times and wakes her up, and her friend didn't wake up. Like her friend died. That is just one of several horror stories I have heard, just from like interviews of quote unquote real people about their interactions with getting drugs off the street. Okay. But anyway, I was all over the place today. Anyway, I've said enough. You guys have a good one. I'll talk to you later. Peace out.